letting me be here today. I hope I don't disappoint you. I was very flattered to be asked, just in general. So thanks for indulging me, and I hope I get my head out the door when I leave. So the first lesson is if you're afraid of doing something, you should probably do it anyway, especially if you're so afraid of it, you're terrified of it. When I quit my job, the 3 months before I actually quit, and definitely the 2 weeks, I don't think I ate and I don't think I slept. I walked into my boss's office and it was 101 heartbeats per minute. I was looking at my Fitbit. I should have died, really. I was 26 years old. I had everybody in that office saying, "This is cool, but what the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, I don't really know. But I just knew that I had to. And I have found that on the other side of fear, it is an incredible, powerful, life-changing tool that you will shock yourself on what you're able to accomplish, and you will reap rewards tenfold if you just stop listening to that little voice in your brain that says you can't do it, you're not going to succeed, it's not a good idea, yada, yada, yada. Don't listen to it, because on the other side, you come out of it personally so much better. Forget it being successful. Forget you having a good idea. Forget you even going anywhere. You might crash and burn. I am not the person I was 3 years ago in any sense, shape, or form, and I will never go back because I crossed that line. And I've been very fortunate to have found a little bit of success along the way. But even if Source dies tomorrow, I'm so glad that I did it, and I'm never turning back. Lesson number 2. Whatever you do in life, remember that you can't get there on your own. So I've been very fortunate. I know all of you have supporters and people who cheer you on and who encourage you, and it's very easy to get caught up in life and forget the people that help get you there. I have a team setting in my office, so I have to take this very literally. My business is built on the backs of other people, and I have to thank people in that same way, because they are quite literally giving me my drink every single day. But even the people that don't have a sea of support, there's always somebody, that random guy in the coffee shop that says that unexpected thing that you weren't expecting to hear that is what you needed. There's always a bunch of people behind you that not only get you where you are today, but that will get you where you want tomorrow. And I think that this has been very inset in my life, because I can't do what I do without people, and I know that's applicable to a lot of different people. Lesson 3, you get what you give. I believe in the law of attraction, and there are no coincidences, and what you put out in the world is what you get back. But I also believe that every single person has a slice of influence in this world. The slice can be big or it can be small, but you've got your own area of influence. And if your focus every single day is to make that slice of the world better today than it was yesterday, you will get rewarded. I have seen this happen in my business so many times. I can't explain it. It's not always equal. It's never always what I give, and it's never on my timeline. But I have found that if you focus on putting good out in the world, and you're not focused or particularly on money or making more clients or having status or whatever, and your focus is actually putting good out there, it will come back to you. And this is something that I have to remind myself every day when I'm in really tough circumstances. As I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You've always got to put good out in the world. Lesson 4, you can never go wrong by doing the right thing. And I know every single person in this room has been challenged by doing the right thing. We have all ran into really challenging obstacles and things that seem surmountable, and the pain in the butt person that I'm right and I know you're wrong, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I've learned 3 things when it comes to doing the right thing. 1, you look good. People are watching all the time. And you can have a reputation of doing the right thing, even when it's to your detriment, when you're doing the right thing all the time. So you may think it's in secret, but it is definitely not. Number 2, when you reflect, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I meet a circumstance, I'm always replaying in my head, how can I do that better? What did I do that was wrong? How could I change that? If you do the right thing, you can. Like, you woke up and you did the right thing by you at that time. And that is something that you can't argue with anybody ever. I did the right thing that I felt was right. Okay, what do you challenge? Stuff doesn't happen. which begets the third thing, which is you sleep at night. I don't know if you guys have ever had problems with going to bed at night because something's been on your mind, but if you did the right thing, you'll sleep like a baby, so it doesn't really matter. Take the moral high ground every single time, and it will always lead you to the right places, and that goes back to lesson number 2 of putting out good out into the world, and it will come back to you. Lesson 5. This is very near and dear to my heart because anybody who knows an entrepreneur, and I kind of knew this going into it, but I should have known it more. The highs are so high. They are so awesome. And the lows are so low. There is very little in the middle, which is what I wasn't expecting. And I've learned that you have to celebrate every little success or big success or whatever and in between, because those successes get you through the inevitable failures, and you should expect those failures. Now, those failures might also be on different levels and different degrees, but if you're celebrating a good conversation with somebody, that might get you through your next day, which might be like a bad client day, or you lose a client, God forbid. But I've also learned with this one, that whole cliche of it's not about the journey, it's about the destination. I freaking hate that statement. I'm a goal-oriented person. It's about the destination. But I was wrong. I was very, very wrong, and I'm still learning that. There's magic in life when you just stop and actually appreciate life and you enjoy where you're going. And I've had to learn that celebrating those successes, that you're really riding the journey. You're really not missing out, because everything that we have, you guys, can be gone in an instant, like that. I mean, my business, my whole life could be gone tomorrow. And if I don't celebrate it now, I might wake up tomorrow and say, gosh, I wish I would have appreciated it more. I wish I would have thanked people. I really wish I wouldn't have taken it for granted. I missed it. Don't miss it. Like, that's the point. But also be kind to yourself. I know that just the nature that you guys are sitting here, you're very ambitious people. Pat yourself on the back when you've got something that you're proud of, and whine about it when you've got something you're unhappy about, and move on and go do what it is that you do. But don't miss the journey. It's pretty awesome. Number 6, you never know where an opportunity is coming from. I have had business come from the oddest of places and the most convoluted of stories that I can't even track it because it's been so strange. I had one client come from my old roommate's ex-boyfriend's brother. What? So first of all, have a good reputation with people, number 1, because that gets around. But really the point of this is, like, not everyone here has that whole client sales relationship, but you never know where your next opportunity is coming from. And the point is to keep not only your mind open, but your heart open to accept new opportunities. Because you never know if that next new opportunity is going to be the best damn thing that ever happened to you, and you don't want to miss it. And it may look different, it may not be what you're expecting, but it might just be what you needed at that time. Lesson number 7, trust your intuition. Your intuition is a muscle that only gets exercised when it's tested. So you're either born with a really good intuition, and great for you, but some of us have to build it up from scratch. That would be me. And I've had to learn that you have to trust your gut. You have to follow your instincts, and you're right more often than you think you are. And when you're listening to that little voice inside your head that's saying you're not good enough, you're not right enough, or that's, just push through it, it's fine. I have found that's never the case, that I always should just trust what it is that I'm thinking, and I'm usually right. And I try to remind people of this all the time because I think that little voice gets in the way. So you're smarter than you think you are. Just trust your heart. Lesson 8. In whatever you do, do it for a higher calling. This was an interesting lesson that I didn't expect to learn when I started a business. But sometimes your sheer willpower is not enough. There are days in whatever you do, whether it's a business or you're a parent or you just have a job of some kind, where you don't want to get out of bed. You're not motivated to do anything. You don't want to go in that meeting. You don't want to have that conversation. You can't imagine having to do this for the next several weeks, whatever that is. And if you're not doing it for something that's greater than yourself, you're not going to run the marathon. It's a sprint. So for me and for Source, I know that this company is going to do something amazing in the world. I don't know what it is yet. We have plans to be philanthropic of some kind, but I haven't figured that out yet. And I think we're doing a lot of good now, but what gets me out of bed on those days where I just don't feel like doing it is I know years from now I'm going to change someone's life. And that means something. So whether you're doing it for your kids, whether you're doing it to make more money, whether you're doing it for whatever reason, have that thing that is greater than you that will propel you into doing whatever it is you do and your driving force, because you're going to need it. And finally, life lesson number 9 is always chase your dreams, which sounds so cliche, but as I was trying to put into words what I meant by this lesson, the line that kept coming to my head was, never give up. That's a bunch of BS. I think the whole never give up thing should be thrown out the window. There's a lot of things you have to give up on. I gave up on a great job. For instance, you have to give up on self-doubt. You have to give up on people that don't believe in you. You have to give up on all sorts of things. So give up on everything that you have to give up. But what you should never give up on is what you're dreaming about. And that can change a lot in your life, especially when you have kids, Kevin. Your dreams are going to change. But you should always keep going after them. And it doesn't matter if you're going after them fast, if you're going after them slow, if your target moves, if you meet somebody and they change or alter the plan, it's fine, as long as you're going after something. The point of this is you don't want to wake up on the other side of life and say, gosh, I wish I could have. Why didn't I do that? I regret not doing X, Y, and Z. Go do it. Even if you don't succeed, the fact that you tried is enough. And that leads me to my final slide, which is when you go off and you go do whatever that is that you want to do, don't be fearful of it. Always push for it. It's worth it to take that first jump. Trust your instincts. Thank the people often and always that get you there, and just go do whatever it is that you want to do. So that's my story. That's what I've learned, and thanks for indulging me.